Guys, today I'm going to be talking about my plans for this summer. This past week or so, I have been putting out all of my curriculum picks for the upcoming school year. If you missed those, go ahead and check that out. I will link the playlist below. But now I want to talk about summer. It is right around the corner, and so I'm going to share my plans for my children, what I'm going to be doing with my children, and what I'm going to be doing for myself this summer. So let's talk about it. So hey, my name's Adrienne. I am a homeschool mom of 3. I have a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old. I love to talk all things homeschool, family life, and motherhood. So like always, I will have a blog post that has anything that I show you or talk about, hopefully, in a blog post that will be linked down below so you can check them out for yourself. I also want to encourage you to thrift anything that you can. I know that there's a lot of things that I'm showing you here. I have not bought this all at once. A lot of the things that I will show you or resources that I mention will be things that I have thrifted from library sales, from Goodwill, from yard sales, thrift books, free things. I have gotten tons of free books. I'm always shopping for the discounts, and I don't want you to think that you need to have all the stuff to have a wonderful summer with your family. This is just what I have. This is what I've collected in the past several months or over the past year that I plan to use. So thrift your things. Please don't feel like you need to do anything like I do. Every homeschool is different. You just make it work for your family. With that being said, I'm going to show you all the things that I have for my family and my kids, my plans for the summer, and a few things for me as the homeschool mama as well. So I am going to start off sharing what I'm going to be doing with my children for the summer. I don't know that I would consider ourselves year-round homeschoolers. I haven't officially figured out that label yet or exactly where we fall into that, but I did buy the survival unit study from the Waldock Way. And so it is what we are going to be doing this summer. I like to have something that we're learning in the summer. One, just so that my children aren't crazy off the walls. But two, I also want to instill in them that learning is just part of life, that we can always be reading and learning about something, that it can be fun. It doesn't have to be a dreary thing. Oh, we have to do school. So I got this survival unit study from the Waldock Way, and we're going to be going through this. So this has the survival handbook, and then it also has the student sheets, which is the unit study. And these go with these books right here. They are the Bear Grylls Adventure books. And so I bought the whole series. Now, this is a lot of books. I do not anticipate going through all these books or the whole unit study. I really just plan to read at whatever pace we feel like and go through as much of this as we're feeling. If we're super interested, maybe we'll fly through it. If we are just itching to play rather than read a whole lot, then we're going to do that. But I do want to do some of this, at least 1 or 2 of the books and the units that are in here. To go with this unit study, I also have this, it's called Not So Fast Knot Tying Game. So we're going to do this. Now, I don't know if this is going to be necessary, but we already had it and we just haven't opened it yet. But we have this. The unit study also comes with some knot tying cards that will teach you how to do some knots. So if you are not looking to spend more money, then you could probably skip this. But like I said, we already had this, so I didn't spend any extra money on it. The same thing goes for these books. They are My Side of the Mountain, so I'm thinking that these can be some of our nighttime reads. I always like to be reading something to my children at bedtime. So I'm thinking this is what we're going to read. This is My Side of the Mountain, and depending how quickly we read this, I also have On the Far Side of the Mountain. I remember really liking this book and the movie, so I'm thinking the kids will enjoy it. They really like adventure and nature and animals, and so I think they're going to love this. So that is the unit that we're doing. Last summer we studied ocean animals, and then we went to the aquarium and they knew all sorts of things about the animals that we saw. So I'm thinking we'll do this, and then when it's not so hot, when school starts back up, we will try to go camping, even if it's just in our backyard. But this will be fun, and I'm sure we can get Dad involved in how to do a fire and all those things that I'm not good at. So this will not just be me. Hopefully this will be a joint effort with my husband. I also plan to continue with just reading in general. I am going to have my kids read to me at least a couple times a week. We have made leaps and bounds this year with both of my children in their phonics and reading skills, and I don't want to lose those. My 6-year-old, who's in kindergarten this year and will be in first grade next year, is so excited. He wants to do his phonics. He says, "Mommy, I want to do my spelling." And so we will do that. He just wants to catch up with his brother. He wants to read. He wants to know how it all works. So we'll continue some of those lessons and work on probably trying to read through some Bob books for him. And then my first grader this year, going into second grader next year, will just continue to read some easy readers that we have on hand. But I don't want to lose those skills. I also plan to just read to them. If we lose steam with our unit study, some options that I have on hand, or one of them, is this James Herriot's Treasury for Children. Now, I'm excited for this, and I think my kids are going to like this. So maybe this will be for bedtime as well, in between reading chapters of My Side of the Mountain. And if we don't, then I'm just going to keep this for next year, and we'll maybe put it in our morning basket or read it for bedtime next year. I have it. It's not going anywhere, but I'm hoping to at least read some of this summer. And of course, we are going to continue with Bible. I don't ever want my children to think that Bible is just part of school. I really want them to know that reading the Bible and studying the Word is just part of life, that we want to always do that and never stop. So we're going to keep going through leading little ones to God. We haven't made it very far in this, so we'll just keep reading this hopefully every day this summer. So I think that's it for books. I don't want to super overdo it with books, but there are going to be times when it's way too hot. We need to come in and have some quiet time, and we can do our unit study. I can just read to them over breakfast or at lunch. We always do a read aloud at bedtime, unless something just super crazy comes up, we're up too late, or we've been at a friend's house or something like that. We're definitely a reading family. So we may not get to all of this. We definitely won't finish all the Bear Grylls books, but I do plan to go through some of them. Now, more exciting things that we're going to be doing. I don't want to continue with our math curriculum this summer, but I don't want to lose math skills. So I've pulled some games that I want to play. We'll probably play more games than what I've pulled out. Hopefully, that's my goal. I am not the best at playing games with my kids, but I want to be. So this summer, we're going to be going through some of these games to just sharpen some of the skills that we've learned and not lose them. So the first one I have here, we haven't played yet. This is IC10 math game. So I think this will be good for my current first grader who will be going into second grade next year. It says ages 6 and up, grades 1 and up. So we're just going to, it says catch combinations of 10. So I think this will just be good for some addition skills that we've been working on. I have Alphabet Go Fish. My current kindergartner really likes this, and I think it'll be fun for us all to play together. It will help him just not forget his letter sounds to help him continue with phonics. Okay, I'm totally blanking on what this game is called. I don't think it says it on here, and I chunked the box. So we're going to be playing this game, and it comes with some cards, and so you can stick it in here, and you have the little dice with the letters on it, and you would spell the word, or you can stick it behind here and try to spell the word without seeing the letters. It's got some math on there, and so there's lots of words and math problems that we can be practicing. When I figure it out or remember what this is called, I will link it in my blog post so that if you're interested, you can check it out. But I think this will just be a simple, fun way to work on some of those spelling and math skills. Not a lot. My kids don't like to do more than a few cards. But on a day when it's just too hot or a time when it's too hot for us to be outside, we can do this. I also have this magnetic fishing game. If you saw any of my favorites videos, I think this was my favorite homeschooling games video. I talked about some of these games, and this was one. I think this is meant to be a sight word game, but I like to just pull out the words that I know my kids can read or that we've been trying to learn to read, and I'll throw those in the little blue pool in here, and they will fish them out, and if you read the word right, you get to keep it. So the way we play this is I just pick out a certain number and we go through until we're done. We don't really play for winners, but it's fun. And then my toddler also likes to play. She'll get the fishing pole and she'll pull out a fish and tell me what color it is. So we get to do it at all different levels for kindergarten, first grade, and my toddler. The next game that we're going to play is this sequence letters game. Oops, this sequence letters game. This is pretty fun. I've never played the actual sequence game, but it just helps you with your letter sounds. So kind of like ABC, the alphabet go fish, might go letter sounds, just to keep working on it. Another thing that we have that we can pull out is this mathematics match and learn game. It's just addition and subtraction, little two-piece matching puzzles, and this is fun. It's also got just counting, so you'll count, I guess, like this one, how many umbrellas there are, and you find the number to match. So this will be just a fun thing on a hot day. And the last game I have is Money Bags. Again, I haven't played this yet. I showed this in my Amazon haul video that I will also link, but we haven't played it yet. We have been slowly working on learning money this year, so I thought this would be fun to play with my oldest. Maybe my youngest if he learns his money a little better, but I'm really thinking this is just going to be a thing for me and my oldest child to play. So games is definitely on my list of things to do with my kids this summer. I know that this is a lot of educational stuff, but it's also fun. It's going to be really fun for my boys to learn about how to survive and how to start fires and tie knots and all of those things that they really like to keep their hands busy and to think about as they're playing outside and exploring this summer. They really like to play games. So I think some days, instead of having our normal quiet time, we will play some games. And then, of course, reading. The last thing I have for my kids, which hopefully I get to, again, I'm not so good at these things throughout the school year, which is why I'm hoping to get some practice during the summer and maybe get better at, grow that muscle of doing these things, but just to take the time during the summer where we're not so scheduled and have so many things to do, that I can work on getting better at doing these things with my kids and get that connection with them. So the last thing that I have are these science kits. So they got these for Christmas, and we've done like 3 of these things out of it. We have this solar system kit. It's got just all the little things to do experiments, and it'll talk a little bit about what you're doing. So it's learn to make a space rocket, lunar and solar eclipses, a constellations projector, walking rover, solar clock, 2D solar system. So it's just got all the things in it and a little book that goes with it. 17 experimental activities, 34 tools and ingredients, and a 36-page activities and lab guide. So hopefully we can go through this. And then my younger son got this for Christmas, and we haven't done it yet, is the lab set. Now we've done the color mixing one, and he really enjoyed that. So these are super basic. Pretty much it just comes with the fun tools, the little beakers and the goggles and the magnifying glass, and it has really basic experiments. So really there's no excuse that I haven't done this. So we're going to do that, and we don't need really anything for it. We have all this stuff, and I think this is just going to be fun for my kids and a little bit of learning, things that we don't typically do throughout the school year. Okay, so that's all the things that I have to do for this summer. Now, I guarantee you that I'm going to drop the ball somewhere with all of these things, that something's not going to get played, or we're not going to finish some book, or we're not going to do it as many days as I hope to, but I have all of these things to use. I have all these resources and kind of an idea in my head of what I hope to do this summer. I will let you know how that goes, but I think it's fun. I think my children will enjoy it, and I hope that it will grow our relationship and our bonds, and that we can just enjoy ourselves this summer. Now, I also have some things for myself that I plan to do this summer. Seems that during the school year, I really struggle to be able to just sit down and relax and read. I feel like I always have something I need to be doing. There's housework, there's schoolwork, there's editing or things for YouTube or the blog, or I need to just take a shower because I haven't done anything for myself all day, and somehow reading always gets dropped. I really want to change that this summer. I would like to just spend some time and read some of the books that I have on my ever-growing to-be-read pile, and I'm not hoping really to read a lot of fiction or classics that I have on my list, but I want to spend the summer focusing on growing my knowledge as a homeschool mom or homeschool educator, teacher, however you want to put that. I have 2 books on my list that I would like to go through. I don't want to add many more on my list and overwhelm myself and then end up giving up. So I'm shooting for a small goal, and then if I exceed that, then that's great. If not, then I will have at least grown my knowledge in a small way. The first book I have is this Charlotte Mason Companion. Now, I know I'm not going to get through all of this in the summer, but I want to just read small chunks of this every day, at least a couple times a week. I started it last year and did not make it very far, but I really want to read this. Now, eventually, I would like to read Charlotte Mason's volumes, all of them, but I just don't foresee that happening this year. So I would like to go through some of this and just keep these ideas fresh on my mind and have time to let it sink in and think about it. I don't have it with me. I'm also planning to finish the book No and Tell. Who's that by? Karen Glass. I get them mixed up. One is Karen Andreola. I think it's Glass. But I am only about 2 or 3 chapters in it right now. But I plan to finish that so that I have a better understanding of narration and dictation and how to implement that for next year. I want to just get better at that and have a better understanding of it. I also plan to prep and bind all of my curriculum. I'm sure if you have seen my curriculum videos, you've seen that they're all just in binder clips. I have not bound anything. I have the ProClick binder, so I plan to bind all of that or put them in the binders that I have for them. I also will be doing all of the prep for the Gentle and Classical Preschool. There's lots of character cards that need to be printed and cut. I don't plan on laminating that, but anything that needs to be laminated or cut out or sorted or whatever, I will go through that. So hopefully kind of slow and steady. I will have the whole summer break to do that. And then I also really want to sit down and read through the manuals, the intro letters in the curriculum, the teacher guide, whatever it is. I did not do that last year with some of these things, and I would like to just sit down and read the intro to the parents' letter, whatever it is, to understand where the curriculum is going to have us go throughout the year, to understand the person that created the curriculum, how they intended it to be used. I want to have that preparedness for next year. So I'm not attempting to do that and teach at the same time. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to read the entire teacher's manual and plan out the whole year and figure out everything I'm doing for 5 in a row or exploring nature, but I want to have an idea of how to use it, maybe create some Pinterest boards or things just to get some ideas and have a place for them. I am also considering doing the Hillsdale College, one of their courses, and it is the Classic Children's Literature course. It looks very interesting, and I thought, what a good time to do it over summer. Again, to put those ideas in my head, to be able to think about them and pick and choose and I don't know, just know how to use that for next year and the future years of our homeschool. I'm really working on trying to stay educated myself. So I'm thinking of doing that, and if I have time to do it, it's going to be during the summer. I don't know when I would have time to do that throughout the school year. Hopefully I do that. Again, I'll let you know how that goes. If I do it, I will have an update on what we managed to do this summer. And then lastly, I want to just take a glimpse at the state standards and that doesn't mean I'm going to follow them strictly and stress myself out about sticking to the state standards, but I want to know what they are, and just in case anything happens that they would have to go to school. I don't foresee that being a thing, but I want to know the state standards. And then I will also just look at the HSLDA website again. It's always good to know your homeschool laws. So I will just take a glimpse at that, at the laws, to refresh my memory and make sure that I am doing everything that I'm legally required to for my state and our homeschool. So I know that that was a lot, that I have lots of summer plans. Like I said, I probably dropped the ball somewhere, but I hope that this will be fun for my family this summer, that I will get to read some more and relax a bit more, while also just steadily prepping things and playing games and enjoying this season with my family. So I would love to know what you guys are planning to do for this summer. If you guys completely drop all of your school things, if you like to play games or read, what you guys are doing for homeschool in your house with your family. Like I said, I will have all these things linked in my blog post below. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see the updates and how we are going to be using all this stuff this summer. Thanks, guys.